We get a brand new ban list announcement coming next week on Monday, and there are some interesting things going on with this ban list, so let's talk about it. Hi everyone, Vortex here, and yeah, there's some interesting things going on with this upcoming ban list. If you don't know, I'll put the post up here right now. We're getting a brand new ban list coming next week, and it doesn't go live for us until March the 1st, and for people that are playing in the Japanese format, I guess, it goes live on the 5th of January. So it's quite interesting that we're getting a ban list so far ahead, and I think that's quite interesting for what the future holds for these cards being hit on the ban list. If you didn't know, this happened in BT7, I believe, where they preemptively decided to nerf certain cards coming into that format to try and like curb the decks that are coming out at that time. It didn't really matter that much, but they kind of did that because it went live in Japan first, and then once we got BT7, I believe it was, then the ban list came, the additional stuff on the ban list happened. So it's the second time, I guess, here for us, and there's some interesting things about that. Usually when, the Japanese deck or the ban list goes live earlier than ours, I think it indicates to us that this ban list is going to be for future cards themselves and future decks as well. So stuff that is currently doing well in the Japanese format, and then it will be imported to our English format as well. Obviously, I know people are getting a bit angry about the fact that, once again, we're having a different format to the Japanese meta because, we're not being able to play the cards or anything like that. But in my opinion, I'm kind of happy that this is happening, and we've got really good time frame before the ban list goes live for us, essentially. If you don't know, in BT10, essentially, Cross got banned pretty much straight away in the English version as it is. And that just happened randomly and activated straight away, essentially. I'm happy that we don't have that situation again, so that people can now make informed choices on what deck they want to play into the coming formats, going into EX5 and BT15 respectively. So I don't really care about the ban list being announced now and only going live on March the 1st for us. I think it's fine. I'm glad that we know about it. Glad we can start theory crafting other decks that aren't relevant if they do get hit on the ban list. So I'm going to quickly go over some of the things that I expect to be on the ban list as well. I don't really want to take much of your time, if I'm being honest, because I think most of this stuff is pretty well known at this point. But if you don't know, I'll quickly go over them now, because there are some stuff, when I mean stuff, I mean a color that is going to get hurt quite a bit. If you couldn't guess, it's purple. Purple has, well, let's face it, got really, really good with the introduction of Fenrir-Gumon, but we've also got new archetypes coming out that are purple, like Anubismon, and even other decks that, have purple elements into them, like Apocalypse. Those cards are going to be hit, and even Garurumon to a point as well, actually. So there are a lot of points that purple have got over other colors, and I think they do need to be nerfed quite a bit, especially when you think back to BT12-ish ban list when green got hit quite badly. I think it's going to be the similar thing happening here, but for purple. Let's talk about the first card that I think is going to get hit on this ban list. It is going to be Analog Youth. I expect this card to be banned because this card is ridiculous. For people that don't know, essentially reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1, trash the rest. Yeah, I mean, just having a 2-cost searcher is very, very broken for a lot of strategies, but not only that, you're also able to trash the rest, which works well against other strategies that use this card, stuff like Deva, Apocalypse, Fenrir-Gumon, Anubismon. All those decks really do like the fact that you're discarding cards, so the discard part isn't really a downside. And to make it even better, if your level 5 or higher Digimon dies and it has sources underneath, you get to hatch an egg and gain 1 memory. It's just broken, especially when you think of the combos that you do with Hell-Lugumon at the moment, which allows you to essentially delete a guy, then get the Lugumon back, and then hatch an egg, gain a memory, continue your turn. It's pretty unfair. So yeah, I expect this card to be banned, if I'm being perfectly honest. This card enables so many strategies coming into the upcoming format, and so yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say I think it will be banned. The next card I expect to be hit on the ban list is one that is coming in our EX5 set, and that is Gumon X. This card is just ridiculous for what it does for purple as a whole, and not even just Gumon strategies, even though it does work even better in Gumon strategies going forward. This card essentially is a draw 2, discard 2. If you're playing purple, that discard 2 is great for you, and that is just kind of broken in general. It's obviously meant to be used in its own strategy where you can discard cards and then you get protection, but it doesn't really matter if every card or every deck that is purple is playing this card, because the draw 2 discard 2 is broken in itself. You obviously do get benefits if you still play a Metal Gumon deck, which, you know, gain you memory and everything like that, which is ridiculous in itself. But yeah, this card, it needs to be here. I think it's gonna go to 1. If, for example, just think about it this way: if Eismon Scatter Mode gets hit to 1 due to it having discard or draw 3 discard 2, this card is going to get hit at some point, and it should be sooner rather than later. Draw 2 discard 2 is broken, so I expect this to be limited to 1. And then the final one, I don't know if they're going to hit it, because Bandai don't seem to really like hitting SRs when it comes to the ban list. If you don't know, a lot of the cards that they ban are not SRs at all, so I doubt that they're going to hit this one. If they don't, they're going to hit the other card, which is part of the strategy. But MMon, I think MMon is a card that definitely does need to go, but not for its own self. It's because of the way that it's been worded and works essentially with another deck in Anubismon coming into the EX5 format. MMon just essentially enables you to play, well, Anubismon allows you to play MMon for cheaper, and then MMon allows you to play 2 guys for additional cost, well, for cheaper as well. So yeah, the card is obviously meant to be used in a cross strategy, but now that Anubismon is here, you're able to essentially play out 3 bodies except for 1. So for that reason, this card is, I feel like, it's going to be limited. If this card doesn't get limited, the Ignitemon is going to be limited, and if they limit the Ignitemon, I don't think that is the correct hit. I don't think Ignitemon on its own is going to be the problematic card here. It is the MMon itself, giving you everything rush and blocker, I believe, that is either cross heart or has retaliation. Crazy. And not to mention that Anubismon also deletes things when you play stuff out by your own effects, so there's just way too much synergy, and you can delete your opponent's whole board and they just OTK you. So for that reason, I do think MMon should be hit on the ban list. If it doesn't get banned or hit on the ban list by limited to 1 or ban, it's going to be the Ignitemon, and if the Ignitemon gets hit off the ban list, I think it's not a good hit in general. So those are my thoughts on the ban list, what I expect to be hit. If there's anything else, I would be surprised. Maybe they're going to go back to what we just had from the ban list and just make some even more adjustments. If you don't know, for example, the championship finals in Europe was won by Mirage Gal, and they just hit Mirage Gal, so I can imagine Bandai not being very happy about that. So maybe they'll go back and hit that deck more. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for what I expect to be hit on the ban list. Let me know what you think about this upcoming ban list. Do you like the fact that it's getting announced early? Do you wish that you got it like during the formats they were part of? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.